Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this June the 5th, 2023. I hope everybody having a great Monday out there so far. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay. In today's video, we'll talk about the forecast watches, warnings, and advisory map here, what you see here. Then we'll take a look at the weather radar across the nation. We'll take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also take a look at the Drought Monitor as well across the nation. Okay, if you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share these videos, and let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks. You can see we got some air quality alerts over here in portions of New York State, also back down into portion of the little bit right there in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, also over here in portions of southern Indiana, northwest portions of Kentucky, also right there at the Missouri and Kansas border. Also got some air quality alerts down here in northeast Texas, southeast Texas, also over here in southeast Minnesota, and all of Wisconsin and northeastern Illinois. That's a coastal flood advisory for portion of the Washington, D.C. area, Maryland vicinity, also down there on the east coast of Florida. Still got that flash flood watch in effect for northwestern Mississippi. Also got a special marine warning down here in portions of southern Louisiana off the coast there. Also got the river flooding still going on in portions of North Dakota, South Dakota, also over here in portions of Nevada, and also into Idaho and southwestern portion of Arizona there as well. Got some flood watches in effect for portions of New Mexico, also in the northern portion of Colorado, southern Wyoming, also over here in portions of eastern Idaho. We got a flood advisory for portions of northern Texas for some heavy showers and storms in that area. Special weather statements has been issued too for portions of Nevada and California and portions of southwestern portions of Washington State. Got a few flood advisories over Montana there as well. Alright, Alaska looks good, so just that red flag warning in the southeastern portion of the areas there. Got some gale warnings in effect for y'all region there along the coastal areas of Alaska. Alright, let's take a look at the weather radar across the nation. Popped up here again every time. But anyway, we got some shower and thunderstorm activity over portions of southeast Canada, also back down in the Maine and portions of Connecticut region and Vermont and New Hampshire region. Also some off the Carolina coast there, also down in southern Florida and central Florida as well. Some around the northern Bahamas, also down in the Gulf of Mexico. Got some shower and thunderstorm activity and across southern Louisiana. Also in the scattered activity across Texas and Mexico. Also Puerto Rico got a few scattered showers. Hawaii and Chain Island got a few scattered showers there as well. Over here in Alaska, we got some scattered showers, maybe a snow shower or two over portions of central and southern portions of Alaska. Sorry about that. And also we got the Guam radar still currently unavailable. But we do have scattered activity through northern Texas, all the way back into northeastern New Mexico, and much of Colorado, Utah. Also some over here in portions of Nevada, back into northern California, southern portion of Oregon State, and over here in portion of Montana, and also got some scattered activity. All right, let's move on to the storm prediction. Let me click on the page. Here. Okay, here we go. We at it now. take a little bit. We got general thunderstorms over portions of New Hampshire all the way back into New York. General thunderstorms over southern Virginia through the Carolinas back into Tennessee. Tennessee and Louisiana back into Texas. Also over here in portions of New Mexico all the way back to California. All the way in portions of Oregon. Also into Idaho. Also into Montana, Minnesota, North and South Dakota as well, Wisconsin. We got a general thunderstorm activity of central and southern Florida. Got a marginal risk there as well. Also over here, portions of the Carolinas, back into eastern Tennessee, northern Georgia, northeast Alabama. Marginal and a slight risk over southern Texas. Marginal risk up here in portions of Montana. And also got a marginal risk over here in California. Alright, so if you're in the marginal risk, this includes Charlotte, North Carolina, Fresno, California, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida, Bakersfield, California. Slight risk, this includes Brownville, Texas, Harlingen, Texas, Mission, Texas, Farrer, Texas, and Edinburgh, Texas. Let's take a look at the tornado probability for today. 2% down here in southeast Texas. This includes Brownville, Texas, Harlingen, Texas, Mission, Texas, Farrer, Texas, and Edinburgh, Texas. The winds. We have 5% over here in the Carolinas, back into Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama, down in southern Florida. 5% and 15% over southern Texas. 5% up here in Montana, and also over here in California as well. 5%, this includes Charlotte, North Carolina, Fresno, California, Atlanta, Georgia, Miami, Florida, and Bakersfield, California. The 15% includes Brownville, Texas, Harlingen, Texas, Mission, Texas, Farrer, Texas, and Edinburgh, Texas. Let's take a look at the hail probability. Same area, 5% down in southern Florida. Carolinas back into Tennessee, Georgia. Also got 5 and 15% down here in southern Texas. Also 5% over here in California and 5% over in portions of Montana. The 5% includes Charlotte, North Carolina, Fresno, California, Miami, Florida, Bakersfield, California, and Haley, Florida. 15% include Brownville, Texas, Harlingen, Texas, Mission, Texas, Farrer, Texas, and Edinburgh, Texas. Alright, let's move on to day 2. We're going to click on this one here. We're going to go to convective outlook number 2. And then we'll go to number 3 afterwards. Okay, here's day number 2. This would be your Tuesday. We got general thunderstorm for portion of southern Maine, all the way back into portion of northern Virginia, northern West Virginia, back in Ohio. General thunderstorm from the Outer Banks of North Carolina through the Carolinas, all the way down into Texas, back to Nevada, also back to California, all the way back to Montana, back from North Dakota, back into portion of Illinois and Missouri, also down in central and southern Florida, that is, excuse me. Got a marginal risk over southern Florida, got marginal risk over the Carolinas, well, mainly South Carolina and Georgia. Also over here in West Texas and the portions of New Mexico, and also over here in California, back into Utah and southern Idaho, and also in the portion of Oregon. Let's take a look at the tornado probability, less than 2% all areas. The winds, 5% in the South Carolina, also over southern Florida, Texas and New Mexico, and also over here from California back into Utah and Idaho. And if you include Miami, Florida, Haley, Florida, Reno, Nevada, Salt Lake City, Utah, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's take a look at the hail probability. 5% Carolinas, South Carolina that is. Also over here in Texas and also in the New Mexico. Also California back into Utah as well. And the 5% include Reno, Nevada, Salt Lake City, Utah, Columbia, South Carolina, West Valley City, Utah, and Charleston, South Carolina. Let's take a look at day 3. We still have a marginal risk down here in portions Outer Banks and Wilmington area, North Carolina. Back into South Carolina. Also general thunderstorm from the Outer Banks all the way to Minnesota, back to Montana to California. Also back from Nevada back to Texas. Also down from Texas all the way back to the Florida Keys, including Georgia, all the way back into Missouri, Also Kansas and Nebraska and Oklahoma as well. Marginal risk over here in West Texas, eastern portions of New Mexico. Also over here in Northern California, all the way into portions of Montana, Idaho, and Oregon states. In the marginal risk, this includes Lubbock, Texas, Columbia, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Midland, Texas, and Wilmington, North Carolina. The probability, 5% in the brown, same area from Northern California to southwestern portion of Montana. Over here from Wilmington, North Carolina, back into the low country South Carolina. Also over here in West Texas and eastern New Mexico. Same areas, Lubbock, Texas, Columbia, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Midland, Texas, and Wilmington, North Carolina for a 5% chance for severe weather. Alright, and finally we're going to wrap it up with the drought monitor across the U.S. As you can see, we have pretty much dry conditions over portions of Maine, back into New Hampshire, Vermont. Also back down into New York State, all the way down into Virginia. Also, we have some down in South Carolina and also southern Georgia. Also down here in portions of southwest Florida. Also got a, severe drought starting to go on down in Florida. We've got a extreme drought, severe drought way over here in the Midwest. Also back over here in the Pacific Northwest. Alrighty. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing. Love to have you, and we will catch you back in the next one.